One of the things that most people misunderstand about microaggressions, they think of them as just being so tiny. Why are you so offended by such a little thing? You got to get a thicker skin, many people will say, right? But what they don't understand is that it is the everydayness of racial microaggressions. If you get a paper cut, yeah, it stings, it's annoying, but just imagine all day long getting one paper cut after another. Eventually you may bleed. Eventually the wound may become infected. That's how racial microaggressions are experienced by Black Americans and other people of color. Driving while Black is another. And the constant threat of being pulled over by a police officer for having done nothing wrong.
Yeah. And here's a video that depicts the adverse impact that microaggressions have on Black people. Now, this role play scenario is from Dr. Daryl Wing Sue, professor of psychology and education at Teachers College, Columbia University. Take a quick look.
Microaggressions occur because they are outside the level of conscious awareness of the perpetrator. Microaggressions can also be delivered non-verbally through unconscious behaviors or gestures. In this scene, Jenny has finished a late night at the office and awaits the elevator. As the door opens, she takes one step forward, sees a Black male rider, hesitates, and immediately clutches her purse and places her hand over her necklace. The hidden communication is that African Americans are prone to crime, will break the law, are up to no good, and will steal.
Example, right?
A firsthand lived example that I've had way too many times in my life.
Yeah. Now, Jim is joining us. You think that Black Lives Matter is a different sort of thing than it's being characterized by in most of the media?
Can I first start by saying I know racism exists. It's not like I'm trying to deny racism, but racism is a human trait. It is not a white person trait. My problem with Black Lives Matter is they are a terrorist hate group who actually has advocated for the murder of police officers. That's my problem with Black Lives Matter. Now, if somebody wants to protect Black lives, that's one thing, but that group is actually a terrorist hate group, and they overtly have come out and said that they are for the murder of police officers. They've chanted it.
Mm-hmm. Doctor?
Black Lives Matter is not a group. It is a movement. It is a movement to help the world understand the effects of systemic and structural racism on Black people, not just in 2020, not just in the 2000s, but really for centuries here in America. Black Lives Matter is not just the extremist examples. You know, it would be unfair and, frankly, dishonest of me to only pull extremist examples of white people doing very bad things to people of color here in America. Therefore, it is incredibly, I think, dishonest and just disrespectful to reduce Black Lives Matter to, a handful of incidents of people who, may in fact be behaving in, violent or inappropriate ways. But the movement is so much bigger than that. It's not a terrorist organization.
Respond? Black Lives Matter's leaders have chanted, pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Black lives absolutely matter. It's the group that's the problem. The fact that white people, all white people, are now being portrayed as racists is a big problem in my book. It's not fair. That's a racist generalization to begin with. If you think all white people are racist, you are in fact the racist. Black Lives Matter is very much like the KKK because they advocate hate and they advocate violence against people.
That is a really bad comparison.
Yeah.
I think it is absolutely absurd, and I think you can cherry pick certain statements from individuals and try to paint an entire movement with it, and that is simply not the case.